Hi guys and welcome to the YouTube channel. Today I am talking about a little book haul, or I'm showing you guys a little book haul. I've got some ebooks that I downloaded as well as some physical books. Let me show you the little stack. These are basically the books that I've bought. But I'm going to start with the ebooks first because obviously I cannot show you guys these, but I do thought why not include these because they are books nonetheless. So I have been following the hype on TikTok, Instagram a little bit, and I decided to buy The Serpent and The Wings of Night. If you see me looking there, I got my little list and notes over there. So I've got The Serpent of the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent, I think you pronounce it. And it's about a human girl that has been adopted by vampires, and she lives with the king of vampires from that court. And she decides to take part of a trial. Let's have a little look. Yeah, it's the Kijari. I don't know how you pronounce this. In my head, I pronounce it as Kijari. So, she competes in the Kijari, and there she meets Rain, who is obviously a vampire because the only human girl that is competing is she. It's her. And they kind of form a partnership in working together, and it all goes down from there. This is supposed to be spicy, there is supposed to be romance in it. I like that. If you don't, I don't think this book is going to be for you. I am really excited to see how it's going. I have actually already started and I'm halfway, and so far I really am enjoying this book, so I am curious to know whether or not this is going in the direction that I wanted to go. We'll see. The next one is Kingdom of Shadow and Ash by H.R. Moore. This is... okay, so I have actually already finished this book. I have started this, I think, only last week. But I actually have already finished this. I'm not going to say if I enjoyed this or not. I'm going to keep that for all the books I've read this month. But Kingdom of Shadow and Ash is about a girl named Fia who has conquered the five smaller kingdoms, and she was in her head thinking that if she conquers those 5 kingdoms, the dragons will come back. Now it isn't as easy as that. It doesn't turn out to be as easy as that because she has to not just conquer those 5 smaller kingdoms, but basically the 5 big compartments. So she kind of goes to the Black Hoods, which is another kingdom, and asks them for an alliance, as she has done with the Fae part as well. And they kind of come up with a few plans and all of that. So I'm not going to say something more, but I really remember liking this. So stay tuned for the next one. The next one is Kingdom of Villains by Ella Fields. I'm just going to read the summary because I don't really remember much about this or why I bought this. I know exactly who he was, the Unseelie Prince, but I hadn't known just what he was. I'd been fooled. The creature I'd formed attentive friendship with in my family's dungeon was not a gentle, intriguing prince I thought him to be. He was a monster, a bloodthirsty beast, and I helped him escape my uncle's clutches. Such a betrayal called for severe consequences, and the price of releasing the biggest threat our kingdom had faced in 100 years was not one I would survive. But upon discovering my uncle's foiled plans for their prince, the Unseelie demanded vengeance, and an agreement was made. My savior and my doom returned, and this time he wasn't leaving without me. Regardless of how I loathed him, the deceitful and dangerous male was my last hope. And yet when he looked at me, touched me, dared to love me, the beliefs I'd worn as an armor began to melt. I couldn't let that happen. though avoiding fate would prove impossible when the only way to save my life was to surrender it by marrying the monster I destroyed. Who destroyed it? Goddamn. Sometimes reading out loud just doesn't sound like the way you want it in your head. So I have bought that book because it sounded really intriguing to me, so very excited to see. Up next, I have The Tiger and the Wolf by Adrian Tchaikovsky, I think you pronounce his name. Now, this book, when I went book shopping in Maastricht, I came across this book and I was like, this is such a pretty cover. But I'm not going to buy a book just based on the cover. I actually went there with a little bit of a plan of what I wanted to buy. And that book was not included. So I was like, you know what, let me take a picture of it and then I can look it up later. And if it sounds as interesting as it looks, then I might go back and buy it. So, in the bleak northern crown of the world, war is coming. Minaye's father is the Wolf Clan's chieftain, but she is an outcast. Her mother was Queen of the Tiger, and these tribes have been enemies for generations. Maniye also hides a deadly secret. All can shift into their clan's animal form, but Maniye can take on tiger and wolf shapes. She can disown half her soul, so escapes, with the killer Broken Axe in pursuit. I think the name of that killer is Broken Axe. Maniye's father plots to rule the north, and controlling his daughter is crucial in his schemes. However, other tribes are also prepared for strife. It's a season for omens as priests foresee danger, a time of testing and broken laws. Some say a great war is coming, overshadowing even wolf ambitions, but what spark will set the world ablaze? I still have this. I have downloaded this as an ebook, so I am actually curious to see. I am going to start reading this as a. You can read like prequels, or how should I say? Like you can read a few chapters before actually committing to the book and buying it, and that's what I have done. I have downloaded this book because if it is as good as it sounds, then I'm just going to buy the actual book and not just the ebook. So that's why I have it on this list, because I have downloaded the little part that I can read for free, and if it's good enough, I will buy the actual book. Next up, we have a duology. No, I don't think it's a duology. I don't know if it's a duology, but it's Kingdom of Battle and Blood, and then also Queen of Myth and Mirth. Myth and Monsters. These are from Scarlett Sinclair. I have read this one online, but I thought it was just so good that I wanted the actual books, and I also bought it, the second one. This is by Adrian and Isolde. This is also more of a vampire story, and I normally don't like vampire stories because Twilight kind of ruined it for me. But yeah, I have bought these two because the first one was really good. I will talk about this in one of the next videos where I tell you about all the books I've read. So yeah, very excited about the second one. Then up next, I have bought this one, The Bone Shard Daughter. I have heard so many great things about this that I was just so curious. So let me talk about this. The Emperor's reign has lasted for decades. His mastery of bone shard magic, powering the animal-like constructs that maintain law and order. But now his rule is failing and revolution is sweeping across the Empire's many islands. When the Emperor refuses to recognize his daughter as heir to the throne, she vows to prove her worth by mastering the forbidden art of bone shard magic. Yet such magic carries deadly cost. Now, I like my fantasy books with romance and perhaps a little bit of spice. I don't know if this is going to contain any romance, but I am still very curious about this. It really does sound amazing, and I've heard that it's just so incredible, so yeah, we'll see. Up next is The City of Brass by, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but this amazing author. In the markets of 18th century Cairo, thieves, tricksters, con artists, and outcasts eke out a living, swindling rich nobles and foreign invaders alike. But alongside this new world, the old stories linger, tales of jinn and spirits, of cities hidden among the swirling sands of the desert, full of enchantment, desire, and riches, where magic pours down every street, hanging in the air like dust. Many wish their lives would be filled with wonder, but not Nari. She knows the traits. She knows the traits she uses to get by are just tricks and sleights of hand. There's nothing magical about her. She only wishes to one day leave Cairo. But as the saying goes, be careful what you wish for. Now, like I said from the Wolf book, this is one that I actually started the first chapters online for free, and then I decided it sounds just too good not to buy it, so I just decided to buy it. So I have read the first few chapters already, but I have to read them again because it's been a while. So yeah, I also love the cover. I actually wish I had this one in hardcover and not softcover, but unfortunately I don't think you can find these in hardcover where I live, so, or you pay like a shit ton of money, and I am not willing to pay like 45, 50 euros just for a book. I can't, sorry. But then I decided to just buy the hardcover. Next up, we have these Infinite Threads by Tahara Mafi. I think you pronounce it like this. So this is book 2 of this Woven Kingdom. I have just finished this Woven Kingdom, which you will hear about in one of the next videos. But Tahara Mafi has written this Woven Kingdom, and I have to say that I really did like the way the misery in the book was written down. It really sounded like such a miserable place to live, as how you call this, as a snoda, I don't know, but like those girls that have to cover up completely. So yeah, I just thought it sounded like such a miserable place to live. Let me see if I can find. With the heat of a kiss, the walls between Alizé, the mysterious servant girl, and Cameron, crown prince of the Ardunian Empire, have crumbled, and so have both of their lives. Now Cameron's grandfather, the king of Ardunia, lies dead, and Alizé has been stolen away by Cyrus, ruler of the Tulan, to help him fulfill his promise to the devil. Facing betrayal at every turn, Cameron is left to pick up the pieces of his broken kingdom. All he knows for certain is that he must avenge his grandfather and find Alizé. Trapped in Tulan, Alizé wants nothing to do with Cyrus or his devilish deal, but with no means of escaping and tantalizing promise of fulfilling her destiny as the heir to the ancient Jinn kingdom, she's forced to wonder whether she can set aside her emotions and finally become the queen her people need. So, I've read the first one. I was actually really pleasantly surprised because I have heard that some people were like, nah, I don't like this book. But I actually really did like the first book, so that's why I just bought the second one, obviously. Now, the last book in this list, just saying, I have bought the first book of this basically for the cover and then for the story. Luckily for me, the story was just as good as the cover, and the second one has just an equally as good looking cover, or just a pretty cover, and that is obviously The Heart of the Sun Warrior. I mean, these covers, I don't know who made them, but these are just stunning, absolutely stunning. I mean, let me grab Daughter of the Moon Goddess. I mean, look at these two next to each other. Isn't this amazingly pretty? Yeah, my thoughts exactly. So this follows up with the story of Daughter of the Moon Goddess. This is the second part, and it's also just a duology, so after this one it's done. So an unspeakable terror is sweeping across the realm of the Celestial Empire, tightening his grip on power. The fragile peace, sorry if I pronounce these Chinese names really wrong, I'm just going to try. Xing Ying. I'm just going to say Xing. Fought so hard for when freeing her mother is. But the fragile peace singing fought so hard for when freeing her mother is under threat. Forced to flee her home, Singing ventures into unexplored lands of the immortal realm to seek aid. However, with alliances shifting quicker than the tides, she has to overcome past grudges and enmities to forge a new path forward, seeking aid where she never imagined. Singing must uncover the truth of her heart and claw her way through devastation, to rise against evil before it destroys everything she holds dear and the world she has grown to love. Even doing so demands the greatest price of all. This is probably going to be another heartbreaking story. I don't know, it sounds like a bit of a heartbreaking story. I have not heard a lot of it, to be honest. Only that people really like the cover, but I am really intrigued by the story as well. So, really excited about this. One of the next books, also, it wasn't as expensive for a hardcover as I thought. It was pretty expensive still, but in my opinion, doable. I'm just gently peeling off the sticker. Perfect. This is what I like. So yeah, I do like some books with some foreigner concept. Like this one is also more of a foreigner concept, like Carrier. I mean, it's not my kind of vibe, I would say. So yeah, I'm really excited about all these books that I got, and I am now currently reading The Serpent and the Wings of Night, was it? I don't know. Hi, my head. So let me talk to you guys in the next video and tell you guys about all the books I've read for this month of March, which are quite a few, as I'm thinking. So yeah, we'll talk later. Bye.